Thank you very much, Director Wangondu, for this very warm welcome. As you were reading my profile, I was wondering, who is that guy? And I was like, okay, I need to get on board. Now, first and foremost, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you on this call as you celebrate the Toastmasters after a year of service. As you've heard, I am the current district governor for District 9212 in Rotary. And Rotary has had a long-standing relationship with the Toastmasters. And I'm sure I've met a host of various Rotarians who are also members of Toastmasters. So it's a very symbiotic relationship that has continued cultivating and growing members together in doing service with fun, in getting our hands dirty, at the same time, building our own professional skills in communication and other areas. Now, as I was figuring out the topic of discussion this morning, and in the same vibe of making those bold moves, I thought to myself, let us look at purpose, living out a life of purpose. When I joined Rotary, I was seeking and I was yearning for being a change maker around this world. With every little effort that I had to just start playing it well in changing the world at the other time. And there is no better organization that came than Rotary itself. And over that period of time where I've served in Rotary for the last 20 years, it has continued to fulfill my life in living out my purpose. Now, oftentimes we ask ourselves, living out our purpose, is it a practice? And for me, it is about the flow. It's part of my life. What I do today, be it around my family, be it around my business, be it around the service I do to my community, I have stepped out in living out my life with purpose. And that's what I felt convicted this morning to just speak to each and every one of us this morning as you consider making those bold moves. In life, if we don't have any purpose within you, we don't have that burning desire to just live out your best, then I do not know whether you're living. Let us pause and ask ourselves this question. Are you struggling to create your dream life or business? If so, you are probably distracted by the how. And this is what you should be focused on instead of identifying your calling. I know firsthand that nothing else matters if you aren't following your soul's purpose. Once you've found it, you can align all areas of your life to point in that direction. It is indeed possible to do what you love and live in flow. You just need the right motivation, mindset, and to take the right action. So I'll share with you a couple of things of how to deal with that. And the first, I always ask myself is understand what life should feel like. Living on purpose means doing what truly matters to you in alignment with your values and beliefs. I can't tell you what that means for you, but you know it when you feel it and when you don't as well. When you aren't being you, everything is foggy and colorless. You are bored and busy at the same time, and oftentimes always tired. Even small things feel like work. You take tests to understand why you feel down and pills to fix it. The list can go on and on. If you continuously ignore your higher self, it will send you nudges, even a slap in the face to get your attention. When you are in alignment, life is right. Things are easy. and everything just works out well. You feel alive, you feel passionate and light up from within, and you aren't concerned with how to get where you are going, because you're sure of yourself, even if you're scared at the same time. The second thing is tap into your calling within. Stop searching outside yourself for answers, is what I believe. There's only one. Be who you were born to be. You can find plenty of exercises online to identify your calling, but you don't need them. Deep within you, you already know what makes you feel alive. You just have to pay close attention. If you're not sure what your mission is, you'll be able to put it into words when you stop worrying whether you're saying it right or others will get it. However, sometimes access to your soul is blocked by confusion. However, if you ignored it for a long time, in that case, practice connecting with yourself and tuning to what is buried there by asking, what do I need to know or listen to hear? Then trust the answer. I find it journaling to be the most powerful way to do this, but you can also do this as part of meditation or while walking or driving. The third thing that I've always thought about is trust yourself and forget what others think of you. We're naturally intuitive before we learn the rules, but there is no right or wrong way to live. If indeed you're not following your intuition, you're probably operating on others' terms, and no one can tell you how to be you. There's always another approach to everything. I remember I used to hate building marketing funnels while building the business of Parapet, until I started doing things my way. Visionary leaders do things differently, and that's why they stand out. The question, the norm to find, is what's right for them. Imagine this, that you are successful. No one would question you because you're on top of the world. Who would you be? How would you act? Confidence and self-belief are very key to yourself. Consciously decide that you know what's best for you. Put your hand on your heart and tell yourself, I trust my ability to make the best decisions for me. Do this for every area of your life, and that's important to you. The fourth thing, feel the fear and take the first step anyway. If you don't wake up excited to start your day, rip off the Band-Aid, so to speak. Make a change or start taking action. While maintaining alignment will take practice, you don't have to work forever to get there. I always figure out this, the unknown is so scary. And we tend to feel safe and comfortable with how things have always been. Fear is part of us and will always be there, but it can't rule us, unless you let it. So take action towards your goals anyway. You don't have to know how or feel ready or worthy. When I finally realized I couldn't do my soul work in running hotels after finishing my degree in hotel management, I took the unnavigated path to start a cleaning business from scratch with almost no money. I gave myself no choice but to succeed by following my passion for working with people. I love people. I love the energy that comes out of young men and women. And indeed, it paid off. And I've never looked back. While your path might not be as extreme, you just need to take the first step. The fifth thing I always thought about is rethink your to-do list. Time is precious. You should value how you spend it. If you don't decide what matters in advance, you'll spend it doing the things that aren't moving you forward. I constantly outline my goals and dreams in a mental note that I call creating the life I want. I make sure that I set those goals for myself, not others, identifying actions that will get me there and schedule them each and every week. Fast forward to a year from now when you're living on purpose, that the stuff on your to-do list matter to you today. Is that how you got there? I encourage you to review those items on your list and either delete them or do them or delegate them. Sometimes it's worth it paying someone else to do things so that you can focus on what really matters to you, the tasks that will get you where you want to go, and if you want to do them every day. If you don't care enough about a goal to take regular action towards it, it might not matter as much as you think it does. If you want it badly enough, you'll suck it up and you'll do the work. One of the most important factors that I always look at too is your own mental health. Check in with yourself on a daily basis. Before you get out of bed every morning, ask yourself, what is important today? What would make you sleep well tonight? Most of the things we do all day disconnect us from ourselves. So practice tuning in. Just sit or journal whatever needs to come out for 15 minutes on a daily basis. Let go and ignore the outside world, even if you have to start by just noticing the world you created for yourself. Before you make decisions or take action, ask yourself, do I want to do this? Does this feel right? Am I excited about this? Make this a daily practice by setting reminders to check in. Otherwise, you'll slip back to your old patterns. And finally, recognize that you have everything you need. This may be uncomfortable at first, but it will still feel like work sometimes. But when you're working towards the right thing, it is surely worth it. You can either choose to deny yourself or say yes to your heart and soul, but you choose what you get in life. Do the work today to create the tomorrow of your dreams. If you trust that it will work out, it will. Don't worry if you don't get the outcome you want today. I want to remind us of this. Success takes time. I will say it again. Success takes time, which is why usually most people give up. You'll never look back and think, I spent too much time being me. So keep going. It is impossible to fail at being you. It is impossible to fail at being you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have everything you need. You will become who you are meant to be when you realize who you already are. Thank you so much for having me. I wish you all the very best wishes as you go on with your conference the rest of this morning and the weekend. And I always call it out this way. Remember to live out your life out loud. Remember to always live your life with one love. Thank you, and my best wishes to you all, and regards from my Rotarians to you. Take care.
Nuggets of wisdom from that speech. I would have wanted to listen even more to hear more of what you're saying. And I just want to pick up on that last bit you've said. It is impossible to fail being you. Talking about authenticity. I'm now just going to ask members to just field their questions in the chat so that I can relay them to you, Alex. And as we're waiting to do that, there's something you said there that really grabbed my mind. Check in every day. What made you feel good doing every day? Now tell us, what are some of the things that you've done recently that have made you feel really good being Alex?
Well, thank you, Angolu, for that. One of the things that has always brought out so much light with me is serving leaders, leading volunteers during this term that I've served as a governor, still running my businesses and still playing daddy. Now, the, uh, the travels that I've done across this the countries, from Kenya, from Ethiopia, from South Sudan, have made me realize how much good that we are doing in this world. And being that vessel of being able to tell the good stories, being able to tell the stories about the life-changing moments that are happening in our communities, done by individuals that are actually impacting lives. For me, that has been the gracious moment of being able to tell our one love stories. And I'll make it my mission to continue telling our stories more so that we can be able to inspire so many others to be able to actually do more in serving lives and changing lives.
Thank you, Alex. Seeing the impact as you travel around the district of the good that Rotary is doing in our region. And I must say that that is absolutely true. The company I work for does a lot of work with Rotary, and we can see the impact of the projects that Rotary sponsors. Just looking at some of the comments that are coming through, very inspiring, District Governor. Remember to live your life out loud. Nobody has time for questions for you, Alex. Everyone is very complimentary of what you have said. You have wowed us. You excelled. Well done. You're preaching what you practice. Here comes a question, the very first one. What is the greatest mark of leadership in family or business?
The greatest mark, in my opinion, is be present. Even without saying anything, just being present tells a lot about how the people around you, your circle of influence, looks at you. Just being there for your family without even saying anything means a whole world a lot. Even for your business, it's the same thing. Just being present is a very key thing.
I like that statement, Alex, because being present is one of the things that we're being demanded by our environment to do. Being present for your club, being present for your club mates, for your friends, for your family. And that's a new one, being present for those you work with so that you can make a difference by showing a sense of loyalty. Fantastics. Let me just read another one here. Your mention of mental wellness is extremely important aspect of leadership that is often ignored, and highlighting its importance cannot be overemphasized. That's from one of our area directors, Gitonga Binjiwe. Another one, great nuggets of wisdom, District Governor. I must say your team was the ever best cleaners I've ever worked with in a facility. Wow. There is a plug for your business. Somebody is saying you're doing the right thing. Another question. What benefits are there for Toastmasters in joining Rotary? And I'm going to ask you the reverse question, so be ready for it.
All right. Well, the benefits are immense. And I always say, you discover things when you work, or you, first and foremost, you're working or coming into a field where there are volunteers. And ideally, you are amongst leaders, and leaders who believe in a certain set of values around, especially around ethics and integrity. Now, coming together in that way, you have a very great opportunity to build your networks. You have a very great opportunity to be able to be of service to others and not just yourself. And with that, there is a very critical part which is called leadership, where you are given an opportunity to serve even as a club secretary or a club president or an assistant governor or a governor. For me, given the opportunity to actually serve leaders and lead 4,000 change makers, I could only get that from Rotary. And I think it is one of those symbiotic relationships that ideally I encourage Toastmasters as well as Rotarians to actually coexist with these two very fine organizations.
I see we're running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to just highlight something you said in that last answer, that you have an opportunity for leadership. Now, the slogan that we have for Toastmasters is where leaders are made. And our values are very, very similar. The 4 core values of Toastmasters are respect, integrity, excellence, and believe it or not, service. And I know service above self is a big value in Rotary. We have so much in common, our two organizations, and we need to work closer together. I can see opportunities where Rotarians can join Toastmasters and develop their leadership skills, their oratory skills, and I can see opportunities for Toastmasters to join Rotary where they can practice those leadership skills in a sense of, in an area of service and giving back to society. Let's keep working together, our two organizations, and impact not only our communities or our countries, but even our continent as a whole. Thank you very much, District Governor Alex Nyaga, for joining us this morning. We really appreciate what you're doing and the work that Rotary is doing, and the fact that you've opened your clubs for our members to join, just as Toastmasters clubs are open for Rotarians to visit and to join. Thank you very, very much.